When I think about Santa Claus, the first thing that comes to my mind is gifts. Well, how fitting is that? Because tonight, Bill Jenkins gave us all the greatest gift we can have in a Toastmasters meeting, a great speech about Santa Claus. Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests, and most especially Bill. Tonight, I want to spend a few minutes just evaluating the great speech that you gave tonight and talk about some of the things that I think everybody in the room can learn from this gift of speech. And also give you a couple of areas that I think maybe you could improve on next time you give this speech. First of all, the things that Bill did great in this speech. Something that everybody in this room should take notes and learn from, because we can all do this in every speech that we give. Very, very basic things, but it made it a great speech. The first thing Bill did, he promised us a payoff. He got up here and he told us, I'm going to tell you some history about Santa Claus. For those of you who don't believe, you're going to be believers. And I'm going to tell you what he meant to me because of my dad. And I was just drawn in, waiting to hear. And then he delivered on both of those things. He went through a great history about Santa Claus, and I learned a lot. And then he had a personal touch with the story about his dad and why Santa Claus always reminded him of his dad. So he told us what he was going to tell us, and then he told us. And he promised to pay off, and he delivered. And that's something every speaker should do in every speech. So great job, Bill. The second thing I liked about your speech was just the structure of the speech. You took a topic that's very common to all of us, Santa Claus. We all know a little bit about Santa Claus, most of us do. We grew up in Christian households and whatnot, we celebrate. But you turned it into a very detailed educational speech about St. Nicholas and the history and why Santa Claus was real and talked about it. So it was great. And then you balanced that with a personal story about your dad. So you structured the speech in such a way that you drew us in with facts, and then you delivered with the emotional side with your father. And so the structure of the speech, the way you organized it, I really liked. I thought that really worked well. And then most importantly, and this is something that you learn by doing and just over and over, the mechanics that Bill used in his speech. He had great vocal variety, great eye contact, great body language. He commanded the lectern, he used notes appropriately, but didn't read. Just a great delivery. So Bill, great speech. You promised to pay off, you structured it well, and you did all the great things as a speaker. A couple of areas I think could make this speech even better is a stronger opening and close. I think when you got up here, if you had paused for a minute, drew us in and said, how many people believe in Santa Claus? And wait for the audience to react. I was sitting in the front row. I didn't even know how many people had answered before you had moved on. So maybe pause with a stronger opening, and then come back to that opening at the end. And tell us, I told you at the end of the speech you would believe in Santa Claus. How many people are believers now? And tie it back to the beginning. I think that would give the speech just a little more power. But everything in between was great. And I'm just happy that you gave us a gift tonight, the gift of a great speech that we can all learn from. Madam Contest Master.